At some point, you had your eyes laid on someone you ended up falling in love with. Every conceivable fantasy you can imagine with a significant other had you and this other special person in your heart. Whether it's playing prince and princess, acts of flattery, or just straight up body heat. The one barrier that we sometimes face is the fact that they don't like you back. For this video, we will be covering Blue Box episode 24, Jetto Costa. This episode actually covers chapter 75, 76, and half of 77 in the manga. This is an episode of Blue Box that will completely change the dynamics of the story forever. So stay tight and enjoy or dread the roller coaster ride. Running through the woods alone, chasing after Chinatsu's safety, Taiki couldn't help but gather his thoughts and may have just found his complete answer to all of his feelings. And so it's only natural that Hina, who has been patiently waiting, knowing that she has been working on a love deficit as she looks for Taiki, only for Taiki to literally chase after the girl he's been chasing after all of this time. Hina has truly accepted what her feelings are, along with the potential ramifications of being denied. Even when you know an answer can be one that comes with heartbreak, it still doesn't mean that it wouldn't be devastating. So Hina's heart pumps every time she sees Taiki, and when she's happy to see Taiki, he's looking at Chinatsu. Many of us have been in Hina's position, playing, how do I get this person to like me? Every time Hina puts the move on Taiki and makes him blush, it feels like a nibble closer to his heart. During the culture festival, it is undeniably every girly girl's dream of being a princess or your prince, and to be together in front of the entire school. There is no better way than to turn fantasy into reality while living a reality as a fantasy. Except Taiki didn't want the rumors to become true. Even if Hina didn't mind it, her body couldn't resist the temptation anymore. Then the moment she asked Taiki for body heat swap of the lips, Taiki resisted her then as well. So she had no choice but to play it off, as it still continues to give her hope that Taiki is strongly considering her advances. Imagine every day thinking about the person you can potentially be with, doing all sorts of nasty things like holding hands, taking selfie pics to post on social media, and singing Backstreet Boys to your heart's content. But Taiki is looking at Chinatsu once again. There are roller coaster of emotions that come from excitement and dread, but love is a whole new level of emotions that you never knew existed inside your body, that is existing because you like this other person. Your actions in every move is jetpack fueled by a swirl of emotions to lead to uncharacteristic decisions. Slight tangent here, folks. I will be making the same arguments here whenever season 2 rolls around. It's funny when people judge other people's romances, and Blue Box is the perfect story to show how they view certain romantic situations. Some people either forgot what it's like to be in this position when you catch feelings, or they've never been in a position like Hina is in, and another featured character may face a similar fate. The one thing about liking or even loving someone, you actually never know how the other person may feel, and the emotions that you feel, especially for the first time of experiencing these heavy feelings. People will be so surprised at the decisions that they make, especially when you are in these kinds of situations like Hina is in. Feelings are very hard to digest, and it sometimes leads to illogical decisions. The biggest takeaway here is, being on the outside, we all have a good logical decision that we will likely take, that we want the characters to take. But feelings complicate things whether you want to admit it or not, and it leads to irrational decisions. So this thought right here will be a to be continued for a future video.
本当にする?
Hina even thought about taking a page out of Ayame's playbook to just tell Taiki to give her a shot.
For funsies.
But one of Taiki's best qualities is truly feeling a sense of integrity with his feelings and wouldn't want to hurt her feelings, so he might just go along with it.
Hey, your head. There's a leaf.
In this moment, Hina wants to express her feelings in every way possible. As of right now, Taiki is just trying to be a good friend to get something embarrassing out of her head. But Hina knows that if she confesses anything to Taiki in this situation, it will create another awkward situation. So what she does next is go for the bug on his head. Feeling what she feels, Hina will wait however long it takes for Taiki to see her romantically. And there we have it. The deviant. Walking with, who is that? The four-eyed bestie? Seeing the Taiki and Hina interaction got Ayame going. Ayame tells Kyo that she admires those in a relationship that can treat each other like friends. But Kyo is doing what no other man has done to Ayame. Call her out on her bullshit! He tells her that she seems to be like the kind of person that just toys around with her boyfriend. But she tells Kyo that the person that gets showered with affection the most is the happiest. However, he calls Ayame out once again that would leave something less to be desired for the other partner. What's in it for them? If they're the person that's always putting out, how does one that never holds a long-term relationship like Ayame going to tell him about what makes a successful long-term relationship? Simply put, your boy Kyo just put Ayame in her place. Ayame reacts like how most hot girls react because they are always surrounded by simps. But Kyo ain't no simp and could care less about this girl's bullshit. She has felt something that she has never felt before in being questioned on her philosophy on romance. This sparks a relationship between two characters who are at odds with how each other thinks. It's almost like they're opposites. And we all know what opposites do. They go different ways. As two eyes are laid on four eyes, Ayame gives Kyo the finger. I mean, the stink eye. Ayame has to admit that she has never ever experienced what true love is just yet. That's why she goes about the romance that she does. Because the more she dates, the more opportunities she has to try to get that feeling, that experience of being into someone as much as Hina is into Taiki. And so that's why she's projecting what she thinks is possibly true love in the Taiki and Hina ship. Nothing can stop the power of Ayame's plot devising. Seeing Taiki cold, he goes to the gym to fetch his jacket, which leaves Ayame to find a way to get Hina to go to the gym for another issue with the equipment, even hinting at Hinachi to stay there as long as you need, even if you can't find the equipment. So of course, Taiki and Hina meet face to face right above the bonfire legend that leads to confessions, leading to very successful relationships. With Hina's hands against the window, the mood is being set for a very special moment. Hina suggests that they just watch the bonfire from up where they're at, with Taiki ultimately agreeing because he's legitimately been tired from the crazy badminton workouts. So a guy and a girl alone in the dark, with rumors swirling around them, sitting on the bench. Or how this moment is set up. Can we really say that Ayame messed up here? This actually could be a situation that works out for Hina. We got ourselves a hopeful situation of love, leading to Hina and Taiki reminiscing about old childhood stories, like when Taiki snuck out of the hotel in middle school to go running and getting in trouble for it. And that one time he played hide and go peek, where Hina was watching him suck at the game. And there, Hina tried to go hand-to-hand transfer of romantic body heat, but just couldn't quite go for the kill, knowing there's a senpai barrier there in her head. However, Taiki is starting to notice what is going on here. Hina brings up the King's card game about the answer he was going to give about who he likes and teases him about not saying it was Chinatsu senpai, which eventually leads to her feelings that was about to spill over into hand-to-hand body heat, leading to a long monologue about Taiki, which leads Hina telling Taiki once again that no matter the barrier, she doesn't mind the chase because
Taiki no koto daisuki dakara.
she loves Taiki. No one just casually drops ski, let alone a daisuki, unless they truly feel it inside. These words matter a lot in Japanese, way more than how Americans use these words. After a moment of silence of Hina not able to control how she feels for Taiki, eventually gets back up in embarrassment and starts to run back to Ayame. But Taiki finally found his shuttlecock to do what a man has got to do if he has any respect for this girl, let alone a good friend. Taiki tells Hina, "Hina to wa sukiai nai."
The silhouette's burning, embers rising high, like a chemical fire. The flame won't die.
Even with the anticipation that this moment was possible, Taiki telling Hina that he will not go out with her means there is no turning back in the blue box story. The dynamics within the story that everyone, each and every week, we look forward to this. It has now been changed forever. Hina once again tells Taiki
Yada.
that she will wait for as long as she needs to, and that Taiki isn't even going out with Chinatsu senpai just yet. But in Taiki's eyes, it's not fair to Hina and not fair to Chinatsu for Taiki to continue to allow Hina to sway him while he can't put in 100% of his efforts into chasing Chinatsu. He can't continue to just string along Hina, but Hina tells him that he might regret this moment if his feelings ever change down the line. But that is the problem. Their relationship as of right now is just not a healthy one, where Taiki's indecision is just giving Hina this false hope. So his decision will be made now. The moment gets more and more tense as Hina faces the reality of what is exactly happening right now. So she breaks down and rushes towards Taiki with the act of body heat from hand to lips in a desperate attempt to salvage what she has been trying to hold on to for this entire story. From the signs of the early episodes of us noticing that Hina has feelings for Taiki, for episode 6 for her to finally feel the dread of the reality that Taiki really does have a chance with another girl. It was then that Hina accepted her feelings, only for her to finally come up with the courage in episode 14 to lay it out on the line to tell her good friend that she likes him. It has been a long journey for Hina, all for it to come down to this moment where it's just about to be over. So Hina compares herself to Chinatsu, that they've known each other for so long and that they can start living together too, if she must. That's how much Hina loves Taiki. But no matter how much Hina expresses her love, it just isn't normal because Taiki says it out loud himself. He can't reciprocate his feelings for Hina. With just a thread of hope left, Hina is holding on for dear life. Even with her pouring her heart out at 120% with everything that she had to say, Taiki says one last thing that will forever cut the thread. That is the potential romantic relationship between herself and the guy that she admires and loves. But these are words that Taiki must speak directly to those that face rejection. Ore no suki na hito wa kawaranai. Taiki can't change who he likes. You like who you like, and that is reality. In reality, doesn't choose what's fair or not. So Hina runs away. With these scenes shifting to Ayame, she has that plot device, deviant look on her face after being put in her place by the four-eyed bestie, thinking about all the amazing lovey-dovey things that's probably taken place between Hina and Taiki. Better yet, it's right above the legend of the bonfire. Hina comes running out in tears. It's a feeling no one wants to admit one way or another, but it's the tears of the dread, the roller coaster that was once at its highest high, now it's at its lowest low of rejection. Ayame's face says it all. Her face is now facing a reality twice from Kyo's words and now one from Hina. We don't have to repeat what Hina told Ayame, as we just witnessed the most heartbreaking moment of Blue Box. So Hina balls out like bonfires! With everyone gathered around the fire, one by one, the brave confess their love with a look of worry on Chinatsu's face that is in search of Taiki, with possible hopes that this could have been the moment, but also notices a missing Hina, changing her mood from happy and upbeat to one where it may have felt like she missed her chance. So for Hina, when it comes to rhythmic gymnastics, it's a simple understanding that she can just work hard and be rewarded for it. But when it comes to love, working hard doesn't mean she'll get the results she wants. Ayame has the look of devastation from what she just witnessed. This is a traumatizing moment for everyone involved, with Hina asking herself, why am I so pathetic? With how crazy this episode and this moment was, it actually stops like right in the middle of chapter 77. I think we have a legendary anime moment that might just be bigger than what the manga presented. Knowing that the moment is coming, it already made me feel really sad. But with the long pauses and with the cue of the music, the sad music playing, it just hits different. Because it's an anime, you can drag out these moments, the tense feeling. It just extends that dread feeling that it's over. It's over for our beloved Hina. It's over for a character that a big chunk of the fandom has been cheering for. I think after episode 6, I think many of us became Hina fans, and that continued as I read the manga. I was all pro Hina, even though it did not look good for her at all. In the anime, I actually ended up liking Chinatsu a bit more than I did before. So for this moment to come, that is something that I can accept a little bit better. But the delivery of this entire scene was perfect, including Chinatsu feeling very suspect that Taiki and Hina were missing. This collection as a whole, from the last 7 minutes, it was dread, it was devastating, and it felt like we all got rejected. So now we are at the point in Blue Box that there is no turning back. There is no hope really for Hina anymore. There is no anticipation of these love triangles, at least for Taiki. Before I get way too ahead of myself, the love triangle part that we've been looking forward to in Blue Box each and every week, that either has to be transferred to other characters, or we will have to be looking forward to something different in the story. So we have to enjoy Blue Box in a different way that is not a love triangle, unless that gets transferred to other characters, or maybe we get both. When it comes to Ayame, when she first popped up in the manga, I hated her right away because she just felt like a plot device. It felt like she was just there to cause trouble for all these romances that shouldn't be connecting to each other. But my view of her in the anime at this point is so much better. Although she was going for the opposite result for what it could have been for Hina and Taiki, all she actually ended up doing was help them force each other, for Taiki to finally say his feelings, to finally give Hina the answer that she needs so she can move on. And in reality, it really isn't fair for Hina or Chinatsu being in Taiki's position for obvious reasons. Why it's not good to to just string along Hina and not put your full 100% effort into chasing Chinatsu because that is who he's always liked. It's just the more respectable thing to do. Even though this episode is super sad, and at this point in the story, afterwards, I don't think I'd ever felt the same about the story again. But I will say that this episode just set up a new dynamic between Kyo and Ayame. They are my two favorite characters in Blue Box that I am individually cheering for. I think when it comes to the MC and the main heroine now, between Taiki and Chinatsu, it's obviously going in a very predictable direction. So that means the most unpredictable, most exciting moments will have to come from other characters. And those characters are going to be Kyo and Ayame. We already have our subtle clue from the previous episode where they locked eyes for quite a while. And now this episode, we have a clash between characters. And now in this episode, we had a big clash between Kyo and Ayame and how they think about romance. It's almost like they're opposites. The scene between Hina and Taiki, it really had me stuttering because it sucks getting rejected. It sucks ass delivering the rejection. And it sucks even more ass that it's a character that many people like and were cheering for. So that just means now in the Blue Box story, we have to cheer for this character in a completely different way. So the dynamics in Blue Box is forever changed. It's almost like when you hang out with your homies and they've had girlfriends for many years, and all of a sudden, everyone that was in the same friend group, they break up, and it has forever changed the dynamics between your friend group. That is kind of my analogy for what has happened in Blue Box. It's a time period that we can never go back to. So onward into newer relationships being formed. So yeah guys, let me know what you guys thought about this episode of Blue Box. There should be only one more episode left, and I'm very interested to see what will happen in this episode because it's not going to end in how we probably want it to end. So right now I'm already getting excited for season 2. But yeah, this episode is so significant for the most obvious reasons, and I think the biggest moment that this show had to deliver is this episode in that scene of that rejection. And I think it happened perfectly. Very dreadful, very disappointing feeling, but one, like in Taiki's position, you just have to make. Yeah, let me know what you guys thought about this episode of Blue Box. I would love to know. And do me a favor guys, hit the like button if you hate rejection. And subscribe to the channel if you guys haven't already. Check out my blog at otakisen.com. And I appreciate you guys watching. See you guys on the next video.